Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, and I hope all of you had as much fun as I did with Jarrett and Raja. I adore them. He did a really fantastic little magic trick. I don't know if you could see it outside the studio, but it was pretty interesting. It even blew his partner, Raja's mind. So sitting here with me is the very lovely...
Very kind.
and talented in your own right, actually. And say Pietra right, so
Pietra.
Pietra Sardelli. And you've already come with some cachet because your father is a fabulous Nelson Sardelli.
Yeah, that's how I'm known as Nelson's daughter.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
I've become that with my son. Oh, it's Matt's mom. But
oh, yeah.
Right now, I know you, and you actually have a background in entertainment, but you're here today to tell us about the fantastic Spring Preserve,
Yes.
which really the history, a lot of people, I am sure, have no idea the history of this. First, tell viewers a little bit about what it is today and where it's at.
So the Springs Preserve is almost directly at the geographical center of the city. So we're at Valley View in 95. And it's significant because it's literally how Las Vegas was born. It is where the water first came to the valley.
Amazing.
And so all the settlers came through. So it began obviously with the indigenous people, with the early Paiutes, and so we are actually a live archaeological site.
Amazing.
As well, yeah. And
right there.
Yeah, right in the middle of Las Vegas.
I know, it's crazy.
When I talk to tour groups, I'm like, yeah, there's like, well, how far are you from the Strip? 10 minutes. I'm 5 minutes from downtown. Like we're just so easy to get to. And a lot of people, I was glad that my dad actually brought it up when he was on, that so many people don't realize that you have this gem in the middle of our city, and how many things we're doing and how connected to the community the Springs Preserve is. So it's really it's an exciting place to work.
It really is. When you delve into the history, I noticed as well a lot of the earlier settlers you were just talking about. And again, bear in mind, this is in the middle of Las Vegas practically. It was originally the biggest water aquifer, which is what drew even the Spanish-American Trail went through there. But some of the earlier settlers, one of them, that's what Fremont Street was named after, one of them. And the families...
Yeah, so we, because I like to just pretend like I've been there the whole time, right? So, so the area became significant because we were the stopping place between Salt Lake City and California. There was no place else to get water, and so that's how it grew. And then actually the water authority, as it was, in the early days, came from the railroad. They started managing it. And I just actually, because when you sent me your questions, I thought, gee, I should probably know more about where I work. That's when I learned that conservation has actually been part of our community since the very beginning. Water conservation was an issue since the community began building.
And when I don't know if we're on the same page, but a lot of people squandered water.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
The early 1900s, they'd leave their sprinklers running in water and take off.
Well, no one understood the concept of an aquifer. They just knew that this powerful water came out, and it wasn't going to end.
Right in the middle of the desert, there's all this,
And so actually, the water no longer flows from the site. They rebuilt the Cienega to give visitors. We actually have just under 2.5 miles of historic walking trail, and we have bicycles as well. And so it was recreated to give our visitors an idea of what it looked like at the time. And you walk past historically significant sites and the early water houses, and there's an old chicken coop from one of the groundskeepers, and the original water derricks. But the neat thing, I thought, was when they rebuilt the Cienega, over 250 different species of animal returned to the site. In the middle of Las Vegas. Now, granted, probably the greater number is birds, but still, to have them come back. We have, I think our highest food chain are fox. We have family of fox.
Oh, they're so adorable. My son's girlfriend loves foxes. So how many acres is that? You said you had the 2.5 miles?
We're on 180 acres.
Isn't that so? It's just hard to visualize, but there it is.
Yeah, there it is. So it's, and you think that doesn't, but it is. It's 180 acres right in the middle of the city. And we have about an 8-acre it's an award-winning botanical garden. We actually received the Horticulture Magazine Garden of the Year, which is big for a tiny little garden. And we have the largest cacti and succulent collection in the United States.
Next to even Ethel M's?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
great.
So
it's the diversity.
Right.
So we have all of these things that are right there, and something which I think is wonderful, and I don't know that a lot of people know, is that the SNWA, Las Vegas Valley Water District, we're global leaders in water conservation.
I had no idea.
So I have been
In
probably
Las Vegas.
yeah. So probably I several times a year I'm touring or I'm arranging tours because I'm not smart enough for delegates from all over the world. We just did a Jordanian delegation. They
wow.
came through. We had people come in from China, from Japan to learn how we're conserving water and what we're doing. And then the Springs Preserve being a beacon of sustainability. So it's not just water, it's the changes that you can make tomorrow to minimize your carbon footprint. It's really...
It's amazing, true. And the other really wonderful things that we'll probably talk about in our second segment, don't go away after the commercial break.
Because
but
my feelings would be hurt.
You have all these wonderful, it's very family friendly.
Yes.
You have a lot of kids programs. You have a lot of events all through the year that are attractive to visitors. And you thrive on sponsorships, donations, and things of that nature. The water conservation thing, and I just got to throw this out there because I'll go out on rants on Facebook about this. I used to sail a lot. We had to conserve water. If people in the valley would just wet their toothbrush, turn off the faucet, brush their teeth, and not leave the water running while you're brushing your teeth, think about it, people. You would save. It's phenomenal.
It's so true.
Phenomenal.
And what's funny, and I think which is why we're being researched, is we actually capture anything that goes in a drain. It's caught, it's reclaimed. Where we lose is landscaping. And so it's letting your sprinklers run, like you were talking about earlier, or that's why there's the buyback program when you get rid of your lawn and go to desert landscaping, the Water Smart Landscaping. And that's something that the Springs Preserve offers, because we have, I call them all of our ologists, but we have a lot of experts. We have zoologists, archaeologists, garden experts, and then we do a plant sale twice a year. So we do a spring, we just did our fall.
So
plant
you
sale.
sell actually plants?
So they're all drought tolerant, water smart, and then we have experts out there who can help you do some really beautiful landscaping. So it's nice. We try not to preach. We try to teach and really involve people in what we're doing.
And you're teaching the youth because you have these hiking events for the children, even toddler time.
Yeah, we do toddler time. Chris Sackmar runs that in our education department, and I swear the man has got to be a local institution. They come from all over, and Thursdays in our cafe, the Divine Cafe, has been doing phenomenally well since they.
What a
they
great
took
place
over.
to go for lunch. Think about it.
It's
Have
wonderful.
lunch, go
and
explore.
Absolutely, and we do on Thursdays. They have happy hour. As I am in sales. They do happy hour on Thursdays, and the view from the city is unparalleled because you have all the strip and downtown.
Great.
And you're overlooking the preserve to see all this, and so from 4 to 8 they do that, and then we're getting
All
ready
week?
for just Thursday nights.
Oh, Thursday nights.
But we're getting ready now for Haunted Harvest, which
That's really going to be fun. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite.
I bet.
Because the staff, we all get very involved in it, and we'll work it, but we pick a theme. So all the staff is usually we're all on the same page. I think Friday's witches. So
I see. Goblins one day, zombies the
so we're
next.
picking. Yeah, there'll be all sorts of things. And we've tied in. We're doing a train ride, and we've sort of tied that into the.
You have a train too?
We have a train. It's a trackless train in honor of our history.
Right.
And it goes around the trails and talks a little bit about why the area is significant.
So you're going to use it for the Halloween?
Yeah, so Halloween it goes by some things that actually our staff built. So, they went out there, they just, because they want to add to it. Everybody always asks what's happening, and they've tied it into the science fiction, science future exhibit, which
That's
we currently have running.
We'll
we have so much.
be able to talk about that. Yeah, we've got a few seconds left here, but I forgot, I had so much fun with Jarrett and Raj, I forgot to give a shout out to my sponsor, which...
Oh, we probably should do that.
I probably should do
key.
that. Yeah, I know. Keep me on the air. I'm sponsored by the Red Roof Inn. It's on Paradise across from the Hard Rock Hotel. I always like to point out they have free Wi-Fi and continental breakfast for guests. They're pet friendly, which I love.
Absolutely.
Probably you do too. And they're very convenient to the airport and the Strip, again, because they're right off Paradise by the Hard Rock Hotel. We're going to come back and talk more about the Springs Preserve. I hope you caught the first few minutes. This is a fascinating history. Without them, we wouldn't be sitting here. Well, maybe, but it would be under different circumstances.
We wouldn't like it as much.
No, we wouldn't. So they're preserving more than just water at the Springs Preserve. We'll be back with Pietra in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Tune in.